Namaskar, hello and welcome to Sunset TV. I am Namrata Singh and you are watching Question Hour. This show focuses on important questions raised by the members in both the Houses of Parliament concerning matters of national interest. In the Rajya Sabha, members from various parties posed questions related to 8 ministries and sought responses from the respective ministers. Similarly, during the Question Hour in Lok Sabha, members from diverse parties raised questions pertaining to 11 ministries seeking responses from the respective ministers. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the questions whose replies were tabled in both the houses. Lok Sabha members Kanwar Singh Tanwar and Ravindra Shukla alias Ravi Kishan asked the Minister of Rural Development whether the government has launched phase 2 of the mission Amrit Sarovar and the achievements and outcome of the phase 1 and phase 2 of the said mission. The ministry in its reply informed the House that mission Amrit Sarovar was launched in April 2022 with the ambitious goal of constructing or rejuvenating 75 Amrit Sarovars in every rural district except Delhi, Chandigarh and Lakshadweep, with a total of 50,000 Sarovars across the country by 15th August 2023 in a concerted effort to conserve water for future generations. This initiative has made significant progress in addressing the critical issue of water scarcity and has contributed to enhancing surface and groundwater availability across various regions. These Sarovars have not only addressed immediate water needs but also established sustainable water sources, symbolizing the government's commitment to long-term environmental sustainability and community well-being. Phase 2 of Mission Amrit Sarovar has been envisaged to continue with a renewed focus on ensuring water availability with community participation, Jan Bhagidari at its core, and aims to strengthen climate resilience, foster ecological balance and deliver lasting benefits for future generations. To support the implementation of Phase 2, revised guidelines have been shared with all participating ministries, departments, state and union territories. Under the Phase 1 of Mission Amrit Sarovar as of October 2024, the construction and rejuvenation of over 68,000 Amrit Sarovar has been completed across the nation. Following 2 impact assessment studies of Mission Amrit Sarovar have been conducted. In the impact assessment of Phase 1 of Mission Amrit Sarovar conducted by IIT Delhi, it has been reported that there has been 16.3% increase in water body surface area and 42% decrease in dry water bodies across the country, highlighting the mission's role in water conservation and climate change mitigation. Further, GIZ India study has reported significant improvements in groundwater levels, agriculture, biodiversity and livelihoods due to Mission Amrit Sarovar. There is no provision of separate allocation and release of fund for Mission Amrit Sarovar. The works are being taken up by the states and districts in convergence with various ongoing schemes such as Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, 15th Finance Commission grants, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, sub-schemes such as Watershed Development Component, Har Khet Ko Pani, besides states' own schemes. Public contributions like crowdfunding and corporate social responsibility fund can also be utilized for the work. Rajya Sabha member Dhananjay Bhimrao Mahadik asked the Minister of Health and Family Welfare the initiatives taken to increase mental health awareness and reduce stigma and the number of dedicated mental health facilities and trained professionals available. The ministry in its reply informed the House that to address the burden of mental disorders, the government is implementing the National Mental Health Program in the country. The District Mental Health Program component of the NMHP has been sanctioned for implementation in 767 districts, for which support is provided to states and union territories through the National Health Mission. To generate awareness among masses about mental illness, information, education and communication activities and awareness generation activities in the community, schools, workplaces with community involvement are an integral part of NMHP. The district mental health program is implemented to detect, manage and treat mental illness with the major component of counseling in schools and colleges, workplace stress management, life skills training, suicide prevention services and information, education and communication activities for generation of awareness and removal of stigma associated with mental illness. Under the tertiary care component of NMHP, 25 centers of excellence have been sanctioned to increase the intake of students in PG departments in mental health specialties as well as to provide tertiary level treatment facilities. Further, the government has also supported 19 government medical colleges and institutions to strengthen 47 PG departments in mental health specialties. There are 47 government-run mental hospitals in the country, including 3 central mental health institutions, that is, National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, Bengaluru, Lokopriya Gopinath Bardoloi Regional Institute of Mental Health, Tezpur, Assam, and Central Institute of Psychiatry, Ranchi. Mental health services are also provisioned in all AIIMS. As per information received from Rehabilitation Council of India, 4,309 clinical psychologists and 801 rehabilitation social workers are registered in Central Rehabilitation Register of RCI. The government is also augmenting the availability of manpower to deliver mental health care services in the underserved areas of the country by providing online training courses to various categories of general health care, medical and paramedical professionals through the digital academies established since 2018. The total number of professionals trained under digital academies are over 48,000. The government has launched a national tele-mental health program on 10th October 2022 to further improve access to quality mental health counseling and care services in the country. Tele-Manas services are available in 20 languages based on language opted by states. More than 24 lakh calls have been handled on the helpline number. The government has also launched Tele-Manas mobile application on the occasion of World Mental Health Day, October 10, 2024. Tele-Manas mobile application is a comprehensive mobile platform that has been developed to provide support for mental health issues ranging from well-being to mental disorders. The government has also launched the video consultation facility under Tele-Manas as another upgrade to the already existing audio calling facility. The government is also taking steps to integrate mental health care services at primary healthcare level. The government has upgraded more than 1.77 lakh sub-health centers and primary health centers to Ayushman Arogya Mandirs. Mental health services have been added in the packages of services under comprehensive primary health care provided at these Ayushman Arogya Mandirs. Lok Sabha member Madhvaneni Raghunandan Rao asked the Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare details of schemes providing subsidies and other benefits available to farmers and details of the direct benefit transfer payments made to farmers, including the Kisan Samman Nidhi.
जब इधर वालों की सरकार थी तब एक प्रधानमंत्री हुआ करते थे और वो कहते थे कि मैं 1 रुपया भेजता हूँ तो 15 पैसा पहुँचता है, बीच का रास्ते में गायब हो जाता है। लेकिन ये नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार है, तो 1 रुपया भेजते हैं तो सीधा 1 रुपया ही किसान के खाते में पहुँचता है डीबीटी के माध्यम से। माननीय सदस्य ने जो पूछा है, डीबीटी के माध्यम से पीएम किसान सम्मान निधि की राशि डाली गई। माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय 3,09,90,000 करोड़ रुपए की, माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना की राशि डाली गई 2,12,000 करोड़ की। माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय पीएम आशा के तहत जो राशि डाली गई 1,70,000 करोड़ की, गेहूं की खरीद की राशि डाली गई 6,04,000 करोड़ की, धान के लिए राशि डाली गई 14,43,000 करोड़ की। और माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय कुल एमएसपी के खरीद की राशि जो डीबीटी के माध्यम से डाली वो 22,17,000 करोड़ रुपए की राशि किसानों के खाते में सीधे अंतरित की गई है। और ये डीबीटी के कारण लगभग 4 लाख करोड़ रुपया जो इधर उधर फर्जीवाड़े में चला जाता था, वो बचाने का काम भी मोदी सरकार ने किया है। एक एक पैसा डायरेक्ट डीबीटी के माध्यम से किसानों के खाते में पहुंचाने का चमत्कार अगर कर रही है तो नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार कर रही है।
Rajya Sabha member Sanjay Seth asked the Minister of New and Renewable Energy whether government is planning to make green hydrogen traceable through digital monitoring systems to ensure authenticity and sustainability, and the estimated annual green hydrogen production capacity targeted by government for the year 2030 under the National Green Hydrogen Mission. The ministry in its reply informed the House that the Green Hydrogen Certification Scheme of India was published by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy in April 2025 to establish a transparent and credible mechanism for the certification of green hydrogen produced in the country. GHCI aims to provide a holistic framework for the measurement, monitoring and certification of green hydrogen production in India. GHCI framework involves a dedicated portal that maintains production and emissions data linked to every produced 100 kg of hydrogen through a unique ID for traceability. Green hydrogen and green ammonia have been included in the list of eligible activities under Article 6.2 and Article 6.4 mechanism of the Paris Agreement. This inclusion has the potential to incentivize the exports of green hydrogen and its derivatives from India. The National Green Hydrogen Mission has set targets to establish green hydrogen production capacity of 5 million metric tons per annum by 2030. The Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways has identified 3 major ports, viz. Deen Dayal, Paradeep and Tuticorin ports as hydrogen hubs. These hubs are proposed to provide production, storage, refueling and bunkering facilities for green hydrogen and its derivatives. Lok Sabha members Shankar Lalwani and Dr. Bhola Singh asked the Minister of Home Affairs whether road connectivity has improved or expanded after reorganization of Union Territory of Ladakh. If so, the steps taken by the government to ensure connectivity of remote areas with headquarters during winter.
72 वर्षों में महोदय, यानी कि आज़ादी के बाद से 2019 तक लद्दाख के यूटी बनने से पहले मात्र 1800 किलोमीटर सड़कें बनाई गई थी, लेकिन यूटी बनने के पश्चात लद्दाख में 2019 के बाद 1670 किलोमीटर महोदय सड़कें बनाई गई हैं। 100 से अधिक आबादी वाले लगभग सारी बस्तियों में सड़क संपर्क स्थापित कर दिए गए हैं। 230 किलोमीटर कारगिल जानसर रोड, 298 किलोमीटर निम्मो पदुम दारचा रोड कार्य प्रगति पर है। जो जिला सुरंग और सिंहकुला सुरंग का कार्य प्रगति पर है। 45 में पुलों का निर्माण हुआ है ताकि रोड को सपोर्ट मिल सके, और वैसे जहां नाला या कोई अवरुद्ध वाली स्थिति है वहां एक सुदृढ़ पुल भी बनाया गया है जिसकी संख्या 45 है। कारगिल जानसर मार्ग 154 दिनों से घटकर मात्र 29 दिन और जौन जिला मार्ग 127 दिनों से घटकर 29 दिन ही अब बंद रह रहा है, यानी कि यातायात की सुविधा काफी बढ़ी है। महोदय, जहाँ तक इन्होंने सर्दियों में लद्दाख के मार्ग के अवरुद्ध होने के कारण पर्यटकों और स्थानीय लोगों को जो भारी परेशानी उठानी पड़ती थी, अब लद्दाख में कनेक्टिविटी सुनिश्चित करने के लिए केंद्र सरकार ने और लद्दाख प्रशासन ने कई कदम उठाए हैं। 138 बर्फ हटाने वाली मशीनों की खरीद की गई है। बर्फ हटाने वाली मशीनों, हाइड्रोलिक क्रेन, रिकवरी वाहन वर्कशॉप बैंक जैसी सभी आवश्यक मशीनों के द्वारा मार्ग के अवरोधों को हटाने की व्यवस्था की गई है। BRO द्वारा सड़कों को साल भर खुला रखा जा रहा है। फलस्वरूप कारगिल जांस्कर मार्ग 2019-20 में 154 दिनों की तुलना में, जिसकी चर्चा मैंने पहले किया हूँ, 29 दिन हो गया है और जोंजिला का 29 दिन ही अब बंद रह रहा है। जोंजिला सुरंग और सिंगोला सुरंग परियोजना बहुत प्रगति पर है। कनेक्टिविटी और इमरजेंसी के लिए हेलीकॉप्टरों के लिए 23 हेलीपैड और 2 हैंगर का निर्माण कराया गया है, ताकि उस बर्फबारी की स्थिति में एक दूसरे जगह से एक दूसरे जगह लोगों को सहायता भी दी जा सके और आवश्यक वस्तुओं को भी हम चाहे वो इमरजेंसी का हो उसको हम वहाँ ले जा सके, पहुँचा सके। सभी 193 ग्राम पंचायतों में 20 सेट कनेक्टिविटी स्थापित कर दी गई है। BRO, NHI, DCL तथा CPWD द्वारा राजनीतिक और लंबी दूरी की सीमा संपर्कता जैसे कि दौलत बेग, ओल्डी, चुशुल और पेंगोंग झील, डेम जोक आदि तक सड़कों की देखभाल की जा रही है, ताकि सर्दियों के मौसम में भी यातायात सुगम रह सके।
Well, that is all I have for you in this edition of Question Hour. Stay tuned and thank you for watching Sunset TV. To watch more programs of Sunset TV, subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to like and share them.